10 reasons why you should import goods in Vietnam. 1. Labor cost is cheaper than China, average $250 per month. Vietnamese people are smart, industrious, and have a highly qualified and educated workforce. Therefore, the product cost will be cheaper than China. 2. Vietnam has signed up to 15 FTAs with most countries in the world and other trade agreements such as CPTPP, EVFTA. So zero import tax means you buy 25% cheaper than China. Currently, the proportion of people aged 15 to 64 in Vietnam is 67.5%, so with a population of about 100 million, the number of people with working capacity is 67.5 million respectively. This is a great benefit in terms of labor due to the golden population structure, creating opportunities for rapid economic growth. Many countries such as Japan, Korea, have had miracle economic development in the period of the golden population structure. Currently, Vietnam has more than 22.1 million young people, accounting for about 22.5% of the country's population and nearly 36% of the labor force. Number 3. There are good relations with the US and the West and the most stable political situation in the region. Currently, the US is very interested in economic cooperation with Vietnam to achieve political benefits in Southeast Asia. Vietnam with a strategic position that the US very much wants to link and upgrade to become a strategic ally to fight the rise of China. Therefore, Vietnamese goods are not subject to US tariffs and create many favorable conditions for Vietnamese goods to be imported into the US. You know that in early 2023, the US started construction of a US embassy building in Hanoi. This is the world's largest US embassy with a cost of up to $1.2 billion and it is located in Vietnam. This shows how important Vietnam's role is for the US. This is the largest embassy in the world, bigger than the US embassy in the UK. Vietnam and the US have just celebrated 10 years of comprehensive partnership. Currently, the US wants to elevate its relationship with Vietnam to become a strategic partner and an important ally in the Asia-Pacific region. The US wants Vietnam to be the world's factory to replace China. Vietnam has a flexible diplomacy that the world calls bamboo diplomacy. Vietnam can cooperate with all countries in the world. So the relationship Vietnam's political economy is the most stable in Southeast Asia, the place chosen to host the meeting between Trump and Kim Jong-un, as well as the country hosting the 2017 APEC conference in Da Nang. This means that there will be more buyers from the US coming to Vietnam as an alternative to China and a safe haven amid the intense trade war between the US and China. That is, if you buy the same product in Vietnam, the price will be 25% cheaper than in China. The US imposes a 25% tax on goods from China, but for Vietnam, the tax is zero. Vietnam is like a beautiful girl that America wants to conquer. Currently, the US has strategic policies to create conditions to help Vietnam become an economic power as it helped China 20 years ago. If you buy Vietnamese goods right now, there will be many advantages in terms of tariffs and price advantages. Many politicians come to Vietnam to create friendly relations with Vietnam. Our textile, furniture, footwear, agricultural products, food and beverage industries are developed and are the strength of Vietnam. You can see the statistical chart of the growth of these industries as follows. Vietnam is located on the international trade route with many seaports, so transportation costs are cheaper than other countries. Vietnam has 3,000 kilometers of coastline with many large seaports located on the international maritime route. With the country stretching S-shaped, the width is narrow. This has the advantage in transporting containers from the factory to the very close seaports, thus saving the cost of trucking, which is also the cause of the price. Products cheaper than other countries. 34 Seaports. Vietnam has two special seaports, Hai Phong Seaport and Ba Ria, Vung Tau Seaport, 11 seaports of Class 1, 7 seaports of Class 2 and 14 seaports of Class 3. Can handle large tonnage ships around the world. Factories, infrastructure, and seaports are built to serve exports. The government of Vietnam approved a plan to spend 43-65 billion United States dollars to build and upgrade road, railway, inland waterway, sea and air transport infrastructure in the country. Period 2021 to 2030. Prioritize investment in 29 seaport projects with more than 31 trillion Vietnamese dongs with state budget capital with the motto that the development of the seaport infrastructure system must always be one step ahead. In the Seaport Master Plan just approved by the Prime Minister, the maritime industry continues to set the target of strongly developing infrastructure with the required capital. 300,000 billion dong in the next 10 years and oriented to mobilize mainly from non-budget capital. Vietnam is a country located next to the Chinese giant and shares a border, so it can conveniently import raw materials for production and business. Currently, there are many factories relocating from China to Vietnam for production to export to the U.S. to avoid the 25% tax due to Donald Trump's trade war. Factories from China run to Vietnam to build factories to export goods to the U.S. to avoid 25% import tax from the U.S. This makes Vietnam a direct beneficiary of the U.S.-China trade war. The U.S. and its allies such as Japan, Korea, Taiwan, Singapore, and Thailand are investing more and more factories in Vietnam such as Samsung, Nike, Apple, Intel, Ace Cook, Honda, Yamaha, Lotte, etc. If you want to find an agent, a trade representative in Vietnam to help you find cheap goods, contact me via WhatsApp and email below the screen. I will help you find the best factory for you. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel to receive the latest information from the source of goods from Vietnam. Thank you.